Sure. Ready?
Well, it's so nice to be here, and it's so nice to have you guys here, I'll tell you. It's really cool, and there's a cat, which is cool. I'm allergic to cats, so if my face swells up and I start puking or something, it's not you, it's the cat. Or, well, grapes cut a long green scar across the face of the valley floor. Like our wounds, it tells the story, the song of how the West was won. 'Cause out in California, harbor towns, a killing floor, washed with methamphetamines, and all the longshoremen's hands, they bleed through a cracked glove upon the wheel. 'Cause out in California, you find the sun. Up north, the capital gained the rules for everyone. A man with a suit and a chain, well, he's with you all and he's gone. Crowned with a head full of thorns, Sodom and maybe Gomorrah. 'Cause out in California, they spend their nights in bars. They ride off in a stretch limousine, maps to the movie stars. 'Cause they want to make you believe that out in California, out in California, out in California, find the sun. All right, thank you. Thanks a lot. Very nice. So nice. I told them to clap. Those of you that are on YouTube, there's two people here, and I told them to just clap really loud, and then I had Dave put the echo on it to make it sound like there's a big room full of people. No, that's not true. I got a lot of friends here tonight. Very excited. Thank you for coming, spending your Sunday evening. Back to work, all of you, on tomorrow? Good. None of my friends have real jobs. That's why I hang out with them. I haven't had a real job for a long time now. Anyway, welcome. It's nice to be here. Close out 2023 with all of you. I have one more show on the 15th, but this one's kind of in my estimate. And no offense to Threefold Cafe, I love them. They're really nice to me. But in my opinion, this is the final show of 2023. And I've been driving all over and playing all over. And so this is a nice way to end the year and get started on a new record. And so it's nice to have you guys with me. We're gonna just play some stuff off of Wildwood Road, the last record we did. And I was gonna save the grandpa sweater joke for later, but they already, before the show started, I was already being mocked. I was being mocked for my grandpa sweater, and it just goes to show that all of my interior dialogue and like the things I'm already thinking people are thinking about me are true. Because 2 nights ago I made a joke about this sweater from the stage to preempt anybody mocking me for wearing it, but I was beaten to the punch tonight. But I can go on record as saying I'd already first made the joke myself. There was a time and a place. Well, I felt the wheel and its grace. King Harvest sang in the fields. So we drank to what we made. And the season changed. Then I felt the long and the slow decay. Why must I be the thief? Why must you see my grief? Can't explain what comes over me. Then I was crushed by the weight. I hung it all up and I waved goodbye to the crowd and the hands from the stage. Whispering sound I received through the pines and the trees. In a motel dream, I swam from the beach to the sea. Why must I be the thief? Why must you see my grief? Tears of rage roll down my cheeks. Can't explain what comes over me. Home, so far away. Home, so far away. So far away. Why must I be the thief? Why must you see my grief? Tears of rage roll down my cheeks. I can't explain. Can't explain. Can't explain. I can't explain what comes over me. Oh, 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 what comes over me. Thanks. So during the end of that song, something unusual happened, viewer at home. If you were wondering why all of a sudden I started smiling, which is an unusual occurrence to begin with. But what happened was the negative, or the opposite of what normally happens during a Marc Delgado performance, which is typically when I start yelling or whatever, second song in or whatever, you'll notice people vacating the room, leaving the room. But what was happening during that particular song was people were coming into the room. So more people have joined us here. Thank you guys for coming. I was hoping that would be funnier, but well, it's okay. But it is kind of a bizarre, and it's nice to be in a friendly spot. I've been playing at Green Kill for a long time now, and Dave's been very kind to me, so it's nice to be here. And thanks you guys for coming. What a cool thing. I'm just gonna play a bunch of depressing songs about getting high and going to jail and different things that happened in my life, and then with an occasional song of hope and love. One or two, maybe. I was talking about the unique experience of bombing on stage, you know, like when you're telling jokes and nobody's laughing. It's very, it's like a purifying experience, because then, like, no matter what happens to you in life, you can deal with it. Everything else becomes much easier. You know, like whatever terrible thing has just happened, you're just like, you remember just, you know, a room full of people staring at you with their mouth hanging open and their eyes, you know, that makes it easy. When you faced the first one, well, it just burned and then it was warm, and it took your heart. It's what you cannot have. And there was hate when you were young. It turned to rage at what you'd become, and it made you want what you cannot have. She said, remember me, son, don't waste all of your love, 'cause there can be only one. Don't waste all of your love, 'cause your heart can know what it cannot have. I guess it made you real small. Now that you can stand up tall, and all your life, it's what you cannot have. And all your life, it's what you can And all your life, it's what you can not have. Oh, thanks a lot. It's very costly to get that kind of applause. I had to pass out a 20 to everybody in the audience and make sure that they ensure that it sounds so rewarding at home. Anyway, if you're tuned in at home, that's what all these cameras are for, ladies and gentlemen. This is being multicammed out into the universe. Is that correct, Dave? YouTube. So we're all here together. There could be people in California watching, which is where I'm from. I'm from California, and I moved around California, but it turns out every city I lived in, I owe money pretty much in every city, I started in a place called Fresno, and I owe quite a bit of money there. I think I owe a guy a bike still. When I finally left California, I had sold some guy's bike, and I had to, when I left Fresno, I had sold somebody's bike, so I had to leave there, and then I went to Sacramento, and I got thrown out of every bar there, and I had to leave there. I went down to San Diego, and I stayed there for a long time. You ever been to San Diego? Yeah? Oh, get a little applause even. You like San Diego? We can talk about it now. It's okay. What do you want to talk about? Huh? Oh. Oh, where are you going to be? Oh, don't go swimming. That's where everybody gets eaten by sharks. Yeah, all the triathletes get eaten by sharks in La Jolla Cove. So don't go there. I mean, don't go in the water. La Jolla's beautiful. I used to. Coronado Beach is great. A lot of people jump off of that bridge. That's cool. They do. I'm just telling you guys what's happening in San Diego. You want to know? I'll give you like the dark underworld tour of San Diego. I knew a guy that lived over there in Coronado. Anyway, I won't talk about it. But anyway, yeah, La Jolla is beautiful. The owners of the Chargers have a really nice home there. I served them dinner there once. Yeah, I worked.
And that part of the coast and Torrey Pines.
Mm-hmm. You guys golfers?
Well, golf course and there's a state park. Sorry, play your instrument.
That's okay. Like I said, usually everybody's gone by now. This is kind of nice. We can talk. It's great. Yeah. No, this is good. I think this is good. So I'm gonna play you guys this song. This is one of my favorite songs. It's a Paul Simon song. And we were talking about Paul Simon earlier, who had a death threat during one. Anyway, this is one of my favorite Paul Simon songs, and there's a couple reasons why. If you've been in as many bad relationships as I've been in, I've ruined, I think the last count was 34 relationships I think I ruined. Before I met my wife, I've been happily married for a while now, but I ruined a bunch of relationships, and there's in this song a very profound line that I really love. It's like in my opinion, one of the best verses ever written. Paul Simon must have ruined a lot of relationships too. But the other reason why I love this song is when my daughter's teeth were coming in, she had her teeth were coming in, and she cried for 2 days straight. So we didn't sleep for 2 days straight. And it was somewhere around the second day, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I put her down in front of the television at her house, and I turned on PBS. You know, I'm not a barbarian, right? I put on PBS, and at 3 a.m., Paul Simon's Hyde Park concert was playing, and my daughter, who had been in terrible pain and been crying for 2 days, stopped crying like that, and watched the entire concert, and then went back to crying. The Mississippi Delta was shining like a national guitar. I am following the river down the highway to the cradle of the Civil War. Going to Graceland. Poor boys and pilgrims and families, we are going to Graceland. And my traveling companion is 9 years old. She's the child of my first marriage. And I have reason to believe that we all will be received in Graceland. She comes back to tell me she's gone. As if I didn't know that. As if I didn't know my own bed. As if I didn't notice the way she brushed her hair from her forehead. They say losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. In Graceland, poor boys and pilgrims and families, we are going to Graceland. And my traveling companion is a ghost from Spain. It's a ghost from Spain. I made that part up, okay? I have reason to believe that we all will be received in Graceland. Now there's a girl in New York City. She calls herself the human trampoline. When I'm falling and flying and tumbling in turmoil, I say, oh, so this is what she means. She means we're bound singing to Graceland. They say losing love is like a window in your heart. Everybody sees you blown apart. Everybody sees the wind blow. In Graceland, poor boys and pilgrims and families, we are going to Graceland. I may be obliged to defend every love and every ending. Maybe there's no obligation now. For reasons I cannot explain, there's some part of me that wants to see Graceland. And they say losing love is like a window in your heart. Where everybody sees you blown apart. Everybody sees the wind. Oh, in Graceland, Graceland. Oh, thank you very much. Very nice. There's a good taco place nearby that Scott was talking about that's open late, you guys. It's called, I've never been there, but I'm always looking for a good taco joint because I'm from California, and New York is the pits for tacos, man. You guys don't know shit about tacos. I made salsa for the Woodstock, what's that called? Outside farmers market or whatever. They had a contest. I killed. I won. I swept. All the judges voted for me. What's that called? Unanimous. And they were asking me the ingredients to my salsa, and one lady was like, "Oh, you put cilantro in there?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" How did we get on that? Oh, El Mercadito is the name of the taco shop. You guys ever been there? I've never been, but I'm going tonight, Scott, and I'll tell you. I'm always looking for a good taco. So any of you late night types, maybe we can. Edelman, I'm talking to you, bro. Oh man, 2 nights in a row I've been there. There's Kennedy's Fried Chicken. You guys ever go there? Shout out to Kennedy's. Those guys are great. You know, because I'm always coming home late at night and I'm on 87 and I'm just like, what time is it? And they're the only place open. And it's packed. I want to tell you guys this story. Some of you may have heard it. But I want to tell you about this woman I used to know. Her name is Joni, and she was from Newer when I lived in Fresno, California. And the first time I met Joni, she was standing outside of this place called the London Motel. And she's standing there like this, you know, with her arms kind of like this, her arms all akimbo. It's like 6 a.m. She's leering at all the men driving by on their way to work. And her eyes were wine red. I remember because they were even redder than mine. And Joni, she had a room there, the London Motel. It was room 206. It was a corner room. It was on the second floor. It looked out over the freeway. And I pulled up alongside Joni, and she leaned down into the passenger window of my car, right? She leaned in there, and I could smell the cigarettes and the booze and the methamphetamine. I could smell it. And she says to me, very attractive, and she says to me, "Hey, you want to come up there to my room?" And I said, "Yeah." I pulled my car into the parking lot of the London Motel, and I parked the car, and I sat in my car, and I stared into the abyss. I said yes, and I locked my car, and I ascended the dark staircase to room 206, and I stood at the door and I knocked. And Joni appeared, luminous and wistful. Yes. She's a girl from, Aurora or Athens or Cassandra. She could have been from anywhere, right? The thing that Joni had forgotten, I believe, and we could use another cat. At the end of this cat, give me another round. But the thing that she had forgotten, she'd been on her side of the door for so long that she'd forgotten that there's a reason, maybe, that we are, we're all searching for a truth within or without, and that there's a reason for human suffering. I think she'd forgotten that. And we stood there and we faced each other above the whisper of the freeway. Cars going in one direction or another. That endless parade of motherfuckers down there on the earth below the world we now hovered in. And she stood aside. She invited me in, and I crossed the threshold to room 206. And I think I stayed for 25 years, 25 minutes. And then she sent me on my way, liked Joni. I saw her many times after that. I saw her at the London and the Astro and the Stardust and the Sands. She wasn't like the other girls, you know. She never tried to steal my money or my dope. And she used to refer to me, to the others, as her sometimes boyfriend. I kind of like that. The room was rich with magazines. The chain had been released. And in the darkness you could see her fingers sick with rings. There were no wedding bells, and the planes had split the trees. And there you sat on the edge of the bed with the queen of the London scene. And it was a time of infamy, a time of fallen kings. In the courtroom, you'd been laid bare. The truth had been decreed. Thought you might get away. Oh, you thought that you might break free. It's when you found out that you'd been ensnared by the queen of the London scene. While you dreamed, a shadow, it did appear. And there was something cold and dark poured in your ear. And you tried to listen and you tried to hear, but there were only screams. Mouthful of bad advice from the queen of the London scene. Thank you very much. Okay, that's it. Thanks. No, there's a window. I think it was Jerry Seinfeld who said there's like it's all about timing. You know, like at 54 minutes you really like that comic, and at an hour and 5 minutes you really hate that comic. And I think he's really right about that. Unless at 20 minutes you really hate that comic, but there's something to that, I think. And so the solo show, we don't want to rattle on for too much. You see, I have a propensity. I could do that, rattle on. It's not like nobody listens to me in real life. I don't know what compels me to speak at length about nothing in particular. I wrote three songs. Well, I wrote a poem and 3 songs. Well, okay, let me back up. So when I'm writing songs, I like to write titles of songs first. So I have like more titles of songs than I have songs, but I have a book full of titles. That we've also now, my wife's a painter, and we do that for her paintings too. So now my kid, who's now 7, she's in on it. So it's like somebody will say something, weird, and she'll be in the other room. She's like, "That's a painting title," And so we have these lists of titles going. Because I'm going to say something now, and if you guys are artists and you do this, I apologize, and I'm going to say something controversial. But there's nothing I hate more than like you go to an art show and you see all these great paintings, and then you look down, you want to see the title, and it's like Untitled number 7. You're just like, fuck, man. Like you did all that, you came all that way, and then you kind of just bitched out right at the end.
Then you wouldn't be an artist, you'd be a writer.
I knew somebody was going to get me for that one. Anyway, I like a good title, and so I have all these titles written down, and I came up with this title, which is The Ballad of Dope and Coke. And I thought, ooh, I like that, because it sounds like an old folk song, but like, written by a junkie, which I like that. And so I thought that's really cool. And then I wrote a poem called The Ballad of Dope and Coke. And I wrote this poem, and I thought, oh, that's the Ballad of Dope and Coke. And so I called it that. But then when we were making Wildwood Road, my partner Justin would get me to read things into the microphone, and then so I read The Ballad of Dope and Coke into the microphone, and he did this really cool, like weird music stuff, and we put it on the record as The Ballad of Dope and Coke. So that was a song, and then I had this other song that I thought was The Ballad of Dope and Coke, and so there's part 1, 2, and 3 now. I know, it's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm going to play you a couple of them. Oh, I could have just done it, I guess. Rain spills from the roof and down the windows if there is nowhere, only water. And soon we will all be submerged. The latch rattles in the wind. Once when I was 5, I slipped along the bottom of an underground pool that had been emptied out. Fell backwards, striking the back of my head. It was like walking along the surface of the moon, which I've always wanted to do, Or maybe meandering the dunes of Mars in defiance of the atmosphere. Who cares if it rains, or if the wind becomes forceful enough to unwind me from my spot here on this earth? I was never here anyway. I was always someplace else. That's so good. Should have had a cat meow on the record, it would have been perfect. And now that I've achieved greatness, ladies and gentlemen, I can spend all day staring into the expiring sun. The one thing I've never understood and have relied upon entirely to keep me from turning into stone. I was pretty sure that like you guys were doing it too after. Was it you? Okay, that's pretty great. I was talking about was playing this show and I went into this big long thing about how I wanted to make sure I was on time. I didn't want to go over the time limit, and then this dude was sitting right here and his alarm on his phone went off like 3 songs into the. And it's like, okay, I guess time is up. And I couldn't stay in line, so I got out of line. Crossed the railroad tracks without ever looking back. Motel Row, one more time. There's a feeling that I get when I can't see what's coming next. Stepped up to the table and I placed a losing bet. Motel Row, I'm home again. Yes, there was a time when my life seemed to be just fine. Chaos and destruction, you were always on my mind. People, they seem to be so unkind. Motel Row, be alright. And if you see me on the street, wonder why I look so beat. I always start out winning, but I end up in defeat. Motel Row, you saved my seat. Crawling around on the floor, always looking for a little more. Always wondered what was behind that door. Busted dreams of women and the solemn marks of men. Motel Row, you ain't my fucking friend. Motel Row, you win again. There's nothing you can do, and oh, there's nothing you can say to change my mind or correct my wicked ways. Motel Row, that's where I'm gonna stay. And yes, there was a time when my life seemed to be just fine. Chaos and destruction, you were always on my mind. Yes, my life was fine. On the surface you could see it shine. I was always looking for the glow of that neon sign. Motel Row, I'll be just fine. Motel Row, I'll be alright. Thank you very much. It's very nice. I got a couple more songs I'd like to do. Thank you so much for coming. It's really nice. I'm going to tell you guys about this. When I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but when my daughter was 4 years old, we were attacked by wasps in the front yard of our house. A dark scout from a hole in the ground crept inside the lip of my boot and pierced my calf. It was a warning to the other wasps, you know, to protect the queen at all costs. It was horrific. I can only tell you. And I found it interesting, you know. I had traveled all that way to be at the foot of a mountain, at the edge of the woods, in Catskill, New York, Woodstock, New York, to be attacked by wasps. It's a long way to travel for that. I thought my daughter's traveled a long way already, it seems, to be attacked by wasps in the front yard of our house. And then, you know, to be here with you right now, in this dark little space, I've traveled a long way to be here. I really have. All the way from the San Joaquin Valley, where summer chokes the light, and light is transitory and always failing, where the voices of the gangsters echo off the hardwood and the vaulted ceilings of home's playground, gymnasium. That's where I learned to shoot my signature mid-range jumper from the elbow of the free throw line. And just outside of the art museum there on Dakota and Clinton, the shrouded wolves waited for me. And inside, I was chewing the shit out of my cheek, listening to the poets. And that's where I learned to use words and images to change the dismal scenery of my surroundings. It was the first time I'd heard somebody compare a wrist to a star, or anything really, you know. And I thought to myself, wow, what an elegant word, wrist. You know, what an infinitesimal piece of dust I was then. So, what can I tell my daughter about such a vicious assault, right? Can I tell her that everything's going to be okay? I think you and I know better than that. I can't tell her that. Her and I, we sit up late at night in bed, talking, right? Sometimes to each other, and sometimes to our companions, our old companions, imagined. And we listen in on each other's stories, smiling into them, amending the parts that make no sense. When I use my eyes, when I use my eyes, I can see the sunrise, I can see the sunrise. Here we are. Here we are. When I wave goodbye, when I wave goodbye, I hope that you will be there. Hope that you will be there when I come back home. Here we are. Lucky that we came this far. When I wave goodbye, when I wave goodbye, hope that you'll be there. Hope that you'll be there when I come back home. Here we are. Lucky that we came this far. Wildwood Road, Wildwood Road, Wildwood Road. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. Thanks so much. I have one more song I want to play for you before we call it a night. And I just have some bookkeeping I need to deal with you guys, which is this. If you're here tonight and you don't have a copy of my record, if you have a record player, I'd like for you to leave with a copy of my record. I also have CDs. So if you're interested in that sort of thing and you want one, it's my Christmas gift to you. I wish it was something better, like a car or something. But that's what I got to offer. I also have these really great hoodies that are really cozy. They're great for winter, so make sure you get one from me before you leave. I would love for you to have them. If you're at home live streaming, send me an email and I'll send you one via mail. I was going to say tough shit for the laugh, but then I decided not to do that. Please send me an email and I'll be happy to send you one. Anyway, this is the last show of the season for me, with the exception of one more, but this one's, in my opinion, the last. And I'm going to get started on a new record. And so thank you guys for your support over these last few years. And really means a lot to me, because I really don't want to get a real job. So thank you. So this is the song. This is one of my favorite songs. This is the song I played when I left San Diego and I left California for good. You must leave now, take what you need, think will last. Whatever you wish to keep, you better grab it fast. And yonder stands your orphan with his gun, crying like a fire in the sun. And look out, the saints are coming through. And it's all over now, baby blue. The highway is for gamblers, you better use your sense. And take what you have gathered from coincidence. The empty-handed painter from your street, well, she's drawing crazy patterns on your sheets. The sky too is folding over you, and it's all over now, baby blue. And all your seasick sailors, they're all going home. And all your reindeer armies, they're all going home. The lover who has just walked out of your door, she's taking all the blankets from the floor. The carpet too is moving under you, and it's all over now, baby blue. Leave your stepping stones behind, as something calls for you. And forget the debt that you left, they will not follow you. The vagabond is rapping at your door. Well, he's standing there in all those clothes that you once wore. Strike another match, go start anew. And it's all over now, baby. And it's all over now, baby blue. 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 Thanks, you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching.